Good afternoon. My name is Alan Koh. Today's health talk is on sleep apnea and how energy medicine supports the metabolic processes of improvement of this medical condition. Well, sleep disorder, that's how this medical condition is defined as. Sleep apnea is a sleep disorder characterized by pauses in breathing during sleep. So how we're sleeping, suddenly cannot breathe, then wake up again, and could be prolonged periods of time having that problem. There are a few types of sleep apnea, one of which is OSA or obstructive sleep apnea, whereby we got narrowed airways, higher risk of rising age, body weight, and those who got active smoking habits tend to get this OSA easier. How about CSA, central sleep apnea? It is to do with the unbalanced electrical signals from the respiratory control of the brain center in the brain. And then the mixed one will be a combination of both, where you got narrowed airways, got the unbalanced electrical signals, etc. What are the signs and symptoms of this medical condition? Basically, sleepiness throughout the day, or also called hypersomnia. And loud snoring could be another symptom of it. And same as observed episodes of breathing cessation or the pauses during sleep, in the middle of the sleep. And shortness of breath that can awaken us during this sleep, while we're sleeping. Morning headaches can happen to some people who suffer from sleep apnea, having those breathing problems the night before. So our aim is to know about how electric energy treatment, which has got no side effects, can bring about better improvement of this condition by supporting our body's regulatory pathway. One is electrotherapy, electric energy treatment, that regulates electrical impulses coming out of our brain's respiratory center by enhancing the absorption of oxygen and nutrients into the brain cells and flushing out the neurotoxins. Toxins interfere with functionality of our brain cells, or any cells for that matter, and also lack of oxygen and nutrients. So once we do electric energy treatment, all these three parameters are actually enhanced. Well, it will help to relieve airway obstruction with this energy medicine by electricity means, by regulating the airway muscle tones with more oxygen and nutrients, as we described earlier on, and greater flushing out of toxins. So these lung cells become so much better, the brain cells become so much better, and so the airway obstruction will be quite dramatically reduced in many cases through energy medicine, medical treatment. Ultra-long magnetic potential is to do with magnetic energy treatment, and this basically improves blood circulation. And once blood flow is good to the lungs, to the brain, you find that the transportation of oxygen from the lungs back to the lungs and to the brain area, and also the drainage of toxins out of that area is much better through an improvement of blood circulation. And so this will relieve the headaches, the fatigue, the excessive sleepiness during daytime, due to the greater transportation, as I mentioned earlier on, of oxygen and nutrients to the brain and also the airways, and more toxins also flushed out. Far infrared, on the other hand, would help to reduce inflammation like bronchitis, neuritis, phlebitis, brain meningitis, encephalitis, and so on. And once this sort of inflammation is reduced, the swelling, the pain, etc., yes, the narrowing, the blockages will be eased, and so the breathing will be so much better, including bronchitis, of course. Thermoxybustion is more peculiar. It's a marriage between two treatments. One is the thermos, or thermal heat. The other one is the moxibustion, stimulation of nerve endings. With heat therapy, blood vessels will dilate in the brain area, the lung areas, to facilitate greater flow of oxygen and nutrients to those areas. And also more toxins are better drained away. That's what, even you improve the local blood circulation, the effect of expansion of blood vessel even better than the magnetic field's improvement of blood circulation. But then the magnetic field goes far and wide to improve blood circulation throughout the body, whereas thermoxybustion only works on the local area where you put the treatment against. So toxins are better drained away as a result, and therefore repair and recovery processes of sleep apnea are less impeded and indeed more accelerated. That's the whole idea of thermoxybustion treatment, to add another few more notches up in the improvement processes. Much already have been done by electric energy and magnetic energy treatment. So why not extra bit of further improvement through thermoxybustion? Moxibustion is simply stimulation of the meridian points in a localized area so that any qi flow can be maintained good, and any lousy qi flows, like there's blockages of the qi in the meridians, then moxibustion will help to unblock these qi channels, and therefore the qi flow to the target areas, the brains and the muscle cells of the airways would be very much more pronounced, and therefore the recovery processes through the energy of qi would even be more facilitated. When you add all the 4 treatments together, there's absolutely no option but for the medical condition to improve, as I've seen in quite a lot of people having apnea using such treatment. Thank you very much.